How's all going? A while ago I did a bit of a video on the Douglas score and how to roughly score your Sambar heads, and I sort of stuffed up on a few spots, so I'm just going to revisit this sort of system so you guys at home can measure a few of your heads within reason. We got some really obvious ones. So we got the length, how long the antler is. Then we've got a spread, and this is where I'm a bit unsure, but this is what we're rolling with this time, fellas, so let's roll with it. We've got the spread, so that's the spread of the antlers, which is this. Top to top. Which brings us on to span, and that's the widest point that the antlers span across. So for whatever reason, if it was the inner or something was going way out past the main beam, that would come into span. For this particular deer, it's just going to be the widest point of those antlers. Boom, cha-boom. Then we've got a beam measurement, which is between the fork of the brow and the fork of the tops. There'll be a skinnier point in the antler, and wherever that may be, we take that measurement. 5 1/4. So we go to the smallest measurement between there. Then we've got our coronets, which is very straightforward, around the bumpy bits at the bottom of the antler. If that diverts anyway, follow it around. And that's down here, boom, boom. We'll get a number, typically 8.5-ish for a big one. Then we've got brows. So brows is pretty straightforward. Measuring from the bottom, I do, just for a rough one, up to the front. There's probably a technicality where it starts off in here somewhere, but we'll worry about that later. The inner tops, that's a straightforward one. That's the ones on the inside. Measuring from where the intersection would be of the two main lines, from there out, and that'll give us our inner. And then we've got an outer top, which will be from the same sort of area up to the top of the main beam, typically. Then we get deducted points for overspread. This one particularly, just for shits and giggles. Say it's 27 long, and it's 29.5, say 29.5 spread. So there's 2.5 inches that is overspread. So this total Douglas score would be subtracted at the end by, I think, 2.5 or 3 points for every 1 inch over. I'll write that up anyway, just to confirm how many points each one. I'm pretty sure it's 3, and that's how you can get like a good score, and it can come right down just because it's overspread. And then on those narrower heads, you're not getting as big a score because there's still these couple of inches where you could have made points. The deer could have. Yeah, and so now we've come up with the numbers. We've got a left and a right side column. Jot down all the numbers. Basically, the smallest one of each side just gets doubled, and that's how you get your Douglas score. Smallest measurement doubled. But at the end of the day, it isn't about what it didn't have and what it did have, or what it could have had and all that sort of shit. And geez, I wish I had that. That's what it is. It is what it is. That's the deer you shot. The score or this Douglas score is just to give the rough idea of putting all the deer up against each other and having some sort of standard sort of score that some fellas can pull their dicks over and whatnot. So anyway, so there's a lot of them getting shot in the burn this time of year, each their own, but just remember to whack those hinds and keep them numbers down a little bit and let a few of those stags go for us all, eh? A lot of people want stags and everyone's chasing stags and we want these big ones. So anyway, that's a Douglas score and hopefully makes a bit of sense. Hooroo. That's living.